Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Naruto Was Neglected and Had a System. And yeah guys, it's a delete system. Naruto will only have one ability, and that is to delete anything. And yeah, before continuing on to this is my own idea, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Meta What If channel as well. Talking about Meta What If, yeah, the story, the second part is not done yet. I have been writing. I wrote at least for an hour yesterday, and even now I have wrote for half an hour at least. It's just I get tired of writing and typing. My hands, they get tired sometimes. So what I've thought of is that from tomorrow onwards, until I'm done with the second part, I will continue to post the story short movies as usual, and then when the second part is done, we will continue with it. I hope that is agreeable. And one more thing, a little request, guys. If you have my email, just don't send story suggestions there, because yeah, going through what happened into the past, they give me PTSDs. I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, each and every time I see a email notification, I said female notification, email notification, my heart rate goes up, because yeah, I'm just like, traumatized because of the hacking and all that stuff from the previous 2 years continuously. So please, I beg of you, do not send me an email. You can comment down below as much as you want. Heck, you have the Discord to yourself. Go there, go ham. Just please don't email me, okay? This is my only request. Anyways, moving onwards. This is the only story for the day. And yeah, from tomorrow onwards, Meta What If will be regular. It's just, yeah, I still haven't gotten my hard drive. That I'm not gonna curse him or anything, because I have been. The whole day has just gone bad for me. I'm having a bad day, okay? It's gonna take a week for the hard drive to arrive, so yeah, there might be no gameplay as well for the time being. If you guys are okay with that, do let me know in the comments section. Enough said, without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato, a few hours after the QB attack, as we go towards the Hokage office, where we see near the window beside his seat was pacing Minato no Mikaze back and forth, as he was chewing on his nail as if he was thinking quite intensely about something, and his face married a very, very stressed out expression. Everything is going to be fine, Minato. We have defeated the QB. You have sealed it away, and you should be considered lucky. I mean, who makes a deal with the shinigami and gets to live to tell the tale? No, you don't understand, Hiruzen-sama. Shinigami allowed me to live, because it said that the payment has been already made, that we should fear for what's about to come. And all I can think of is the gaze of her direction. What do you mean, the gaze of her direction? She was pointing towards my son. I have already sent out 2 medics before, and they both gave me these, as he threw the files at the table. They're nothing more than reports. As Hiruzen read them, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, and the seal is working just perfectly fine as well. You should be grateful, Minato. I should be, yes, I know, but something is off, Hiruzen-sama. Something entirely different here is going on. Shinigami wouldn't just let anyone off the hook. Someone like me as well. You're right about that. I do wonder why she did that. Obviously, there's something wrong. She said that the payment has been made. What is that payment? I want to find out. And why was she pointing towards my son? I've called for the seniorest medic that we have, and if he won't be able to find out about anything. As their talking came to a halt, as there was a knock on the door. As the medic came in, Hokage-sama, with all due respect, sir, my last 2 employees gave you the best of the best reports, and I have matched them, and have conducted my own series of tests, going way and beyond what they have. And everything is fine. There's nothing wrong with the said child. That's not what I was asking. I was specifically being considered about if there is a Kekkei or any of the Jujutsu that we have never seen or heard before in that child. I want you to find out about that, doctor. There's nothing of such that has been found. Look at the result notes over here. The report suggests that there's nothing of such. The child is normal, as Minato went through, and his eyes couldn't fathom that the doctor was telling truth. This is not enough. I'm sorry to say, sir, but these are all the tests that our medical team is capable of conducting. We have other things to take care of. With all due respect, Hokage-sama, you need to keep your paranoia in check. because we have greater things to worry about right now. That is enough, doctor. Please, leave. Alright, Hiruzen-sama. And so the doctor left. Look, don't take it to heart, but the doctor has a right thing to say to you, Minato. Konoha has just outcome itself and defeated the QB. There are many injured out there, civilians, shinobis alike, some in critical condition, and you're pulling out our best people, who should be supervising the others and helping them out, to do something that you just have thought about and got feeling about. This is not how it works, Minato. I know, but something is not right. I need to go and call her. Tsunade-sama. She's the only one. It's like Tsunade will come back. I'll contact Sensei. And so Minato just did that, sent it a letter, and 24 hours later we see inside Konoha's office, Jiraiya was standing next to Tsunade, who had a very serious expression on her face. Talk, you have half an hour. After that I'm gone, and you better pay my debts. What? He's idiot. Promised me that my debts will be paid by Konoha if I did this. Alright, I'll personally take care of that. I have enough reserves to, replenish your debts. How long are they? 45 million ryus. Covered. Just do this for me, please. So is the patient. Well, it's my wife. She's in a comatose state, but before that, I need you to conduct a series of tests. Anything that comes to mind. All of them. On my son. Kakashi, as an envoy arrived, in his arms was a bundle of baby. As Tsunade held her, she's a newborn, Minato. Are you insane? Just conduct all the tests, Tsunade-sama. I'll reveal things to Sensei so that he can debrief you later on. Fine. Shizune? And I will need a room. Alright. It will be arranged. Just make sure you do so fast and present me results. I will do. And present results that are based on things I have determined, Minato. Alright, Tsunade-sama. As after the two of them left, Hiruzen then asked, Geez, kid, what the hell is wrong with you? You look like you haven't slept. If anything, I would think that you would be the one to need medic for yourself. It's not that, Sensei. Something serious is going on. I used the Reaper Death Seal. As Jiraiya's smile vanished. What? I used the Reaper Death Seal. How? Are you alive then? That is what I wanted to know. Shinigami stated that the payment has already been made and we should fear what's to come. I don't know what that means, and I want to find out why. She was pointing towards that child, Minato. Oh God. Look, I'll come back tomorrow when the results came in, okay? As Jiraiya then vanished in a hurry. As now we see, 24 hours, which was quite agonizing, passed. Minato was not able to go home for the past 72 hours already, and now he was getting more tired. He was drinking coffee one after the other cup and was working tirelessly until he collapsed and was taken in to be treated by Tsunade as well, alongside with Kushina and the others. As he awoke, we see Tsunade was standing next to him. Tsunade-sama, you passed out, Minato. It's only been 3 hours. You need to rest for a few more until you're back on your feet. I can't. Minato? Please, Kushi-chan, you're vague. I am. But you can't do this to yourself. You're gonna end up in the grave like this, if not because of Shinigami. Did you conduct the tests? Yes, and there's nothing wrong with him. Aside from something that I noticed. What? There's a huge spike of chakra. What? Look here. There's sudden spike and then normality in chakra. It spikes, usually, whenever there is emotional stress on the child. You told me to conduct each and every test known to Konoha or the shinobi world, and I'd done that. Even though I shouldn't have. And now, I am able to produce results as I promised. I see. As that is when we see Jiraiya arrived, bolting through. Minato, we need to talk, now. As he noticed that everyone was there. Sorry about this, everyone. But, is everything alright, Sensei? Yes, it's not. What? I'm sorry, it's not. It's just... The child, he's... How should I say this? I don't want you to strain your family or anything, but... Hear this, okay? I went to the Toads and dug up some old scrolls. That child is cursed. Cursed? Shinigami only in the past left one human alive after the after the same scenarios occurred. The only difference that the man was fighting against some strong enemy from the other side. So he also had a child born, and that child, he was the payment. That child is going to grow up, and once he reaches at the age of 13, a catastrophe will struck. Before that, you can't do anything to him, but at the right moment, once he turned 13, he needs to be killed. What? What do you mean by that, Jiraiya? Said Kushina. Look, I got in the scrolls. I don't need to see or hear your scrolls. What do you mean by that? That I need to kill my son? That's the only way. Shinigami wants a sacrifice. The payment already has been made is because Shinigami once in every blue moon wishes to play pranks of a sort to humans, and this is one of them. You get attached to the boy, and once you sacrifice it, they think that that will suffice to entertain them. What kind of sick shit is this, Jiraiya? Look, Sensei, these scrolls have been kept hidden. Gamamaru-sama's library was not even allowed to be ventured to, even by the toads, let alone their summoners. I went there and I found these scrolls because I have been hearing this story since a long age ago. I thought it was a myth, but then I remembered that something resembled what has happened today. Just to confirm my suspicions, I went there, into the directory and records room of theirs, and found this. So 13 years. That's all my son has. Yes. He is chosen to be the sacrifice of Kamiyami and Shinigami. And if we don't, what will happen? Said Minato. You don't wish to know, kid. We don't know what will happen. Trust me, we don't. As now we see, time passed, as a few months went by, until Jiraiya arrived, again at Minato's home. What is it, Sensei? Look, have you decided on it? I need to know, because I can't focus on anything, Minato. Just now a huge bomb has been dropped on you. An explosive attack that you cannot stop has begun to tick down its timer. And it's going to reach in its limit in a long 13 years, but it's gonna go past in a few finger snaps for you. Now tell me this, what have you decided? Kushina and I have thought for a moment. For these past few months, each and every day we thought, and then we think that the only solution to this is that Naruto is not to be considered our son. Manwa and Mito will be. Naruto will be considered an orphan. We have to give him up. That is the only way. As much as it pains me to do this, this is the only solution to the problem. All I have to do is just blame myself. As now we see, Hiruzen, as well as Jiraiya, intervened. You can't! What? What do you mean by that, Sensei? You have to let the child live and nourish under you. Only then the sacrifice will mean anything, or otherwise the catastrophe, whether he dies or not, will continue to befall. Damn it. Don't make this hard for me, Sensei. I can't. I can't put my family through this. Of course you can. I'll help you. What? What are you doing, Sensei? Jiraiya bolted across into the room and pushed Minato to the side and arrived where the seal of Naruto was, and then with a key that he spawned in his hand, did something. He let loose in the seal, causing Naruto to cry in agony as he was covered in dark red chakra. What the hell are you doing, Sensei? You're hurting him! As now I see, Minato closed those seals, as Naruto had already been affected. His core, as well as his, chakra had been poisoned, and now it was, instead of normal blue, glowing red. And his eyes, they were no longer blue as well, they were red with slits in them. Thicker whisker marks and two small canine-like teeth in his barren mouth were growing already. What have you done? What have you done to him? I merged the Kyuubi and Naruto's soul. It will be easier for you to now do what you had to do. This is the only way, Minato. I know you're gonna hate me for this, but this is the only solution. You have to raise him under your home. And the next morning, once Kushina found out, she was crying for what Jiraiya has done. And somehow, by sheer fate, the news broke out. Not only in, well, council chamber, but in the whole of Konoha. And everyone has been called to a council meeting in front of the whole village. This was for the first time in history of the Konoha that this was being conducted, but Minato wanted this because he wanted everyone to be assured. People of Konoha and esteemed council. What you have heard is true. It is all my fault that this has happened, but I don't know what game Shinigami is playing. We have to play by its rules, otherwise there is no chance for us to survive. My son, he has been picked as a sacrifice by the Shinigami for Kamiyami and Shinigami. But we can't make a sacrifice of him until 13 years. Last night Sensei arrived and merged his and the Kyuubi's soul, making him some sort of a monster of our own right. I can't even recognize him as my boy anymore. We're going to make a confinement for him, make him raise there until he is ready for slaughter. And after the sacrifice is done, and only then, we will be freed from this curse. Alright, Minato-sama, we understand. This sacrifice will not be forgotten by Konoha and its people. As Minato nodded, getting the sympathy that he needed. And then, the boy was being raised in that confinement. First there was a crib, and as time passed by, it was a small bed. And then the bed was broken, and now there was nothing more than a mattress. As now we see, 10 years have gone by, as down from the basement there was a window that could be considered only source of, well, sunlight, as huge metal bars were located there, as from them 2 red eyes would see into the backyard of the home from his confinement, where he would find 2 children with red hair and blue eyes, laughing and training with the red-headed woman. The same woman that would arrive and just glare at him and would throw food and slam the door shut without speaking a word. Naruto couldn't know how to speak. That would have been the case if it wasn't for Kurama. He knew how to form words and whatnot, but he never have spoken to anyone. All he could do was cry and whatnot. His only company there was Kurama, who was not merged with him. Turns out Jiraiya was entirely wrong about him and Kyuubi being merged. It was Kyuubi's chakra that has merged with his own, making him look like this, while Kyuubi's soul still resided within him like a second consciousness. Stop looking at them, child. But why, Kurama? I want to play like them. You can't. They won't allow that to happen. You do know that, right? Yeah, I guess you're right. As now we see, Naruto then jumped down from what looked like at least 11 feet, because that is how deep the basement was dug. He used his claws to climb up there and hold on to the bars to see what was going outside. It was his usual ritual just to see, to get the only contact with the outer world that he had, aside from his single, well, light-lidded confinement, or which he called his home. I just wonder, why doesn't she smile like that towards me? Isn't she my mother, as you said? She doesn't think of you as her child. What? Why? Now is not the time. 2 more years before I tell you. As after that Naruto went to bed, as Kyuubi was still awake. I need to get this child out of here. These idiots, they don't know what they are going to do. Naruto is not a curse to them, but a gift. Shinigami gave Naruto an ability with the help of Kami and Yami. But they're gonna make him use that for something that it shouldn't have been. As Kurama could see the system that was forming within Naruto and activating, as that is how 2 more years went by. Naruto being confined, being coldly treated. They didn't beat him or anything, just never allowed him in contact with anything. They forgot about him, erased him. The whole village by now, after 12 years of that incident, forgot about him. But that is it. Nobody did in fact reality forgot. Especially not Minato and Kushina, who were daily reminded that how their son was nothing more than a sacrificial lamb for the whole village. As it was their 12th birthday, as Naruto could hear from upstairs while climbing to the window that what was going on. He has gotten a broken mirror from which, while holding his hand outside from the bars, he could see what was going on from the upper wooden deck. He saw a lot of people there, and they were celebrating, and they were eating a lot of good stuff. As after that, someone noticed and Naruto then went back in. As suddenly he heard footsteps, and down came Minato. What are you up to? Give me what you have, Naruto. As Naruto just shook his head, he hasn't spoken to anyone. Now, I told you. I've warned you to not reveal yourself to anyone. As Minato then grabbed Naruto by the collar and slammed him against the concrete. Where is it? Now. As Naruto with shaking hands pointed towards the down mirror. How did you get this? And as Naruto shook his head and said that it didn't say anything. Well, whatever. Just don't try this anymore. It will be for your own good. As after that, Minato just grabbed that and left, closing the door shut, which was made out of huge metal, as some seals activated. As Naruto cried himself to sleep, the next morning he woke up, he found that the barred window that was up there was completely sealed off, and now there was just only one light that lit the whole room, as Naruto was confined completely, cut it off. There was no window for him, just a little ventilation shaft from which no light came in, but only air. As Naruto wiped his tears, which were coming from his eyes, his connection, which has been there for his whole life, the only source of what was outside, considered beautiful by him, was gone. All because he got hasty and wanted to know what was going on. As Kyubi had had enough. Kid, what is it, Kurama? We have to get out of here. Remember how I taught you? Yes, use it. The barriers won't be able to withstand. They think that you have not been trained. Those fools. They forgot that I have lived even before them. I have witnessed and seen greatest shinobis in training. I have memorized and let Naruto train with all the knowledge that I possess. As Naruto then gathered huge amount of orangish reddish chakras, two lion fists like the Hyuga lion fist formation formed, as Naruto literally punched his way through the earth, as the whole house shook. Luckily at the time, nobody was at home, as Naruto dug his way all the way to the other side. Keep on digging, Naruto. We can't go up, you know. Naruto, in his mind, spoke to Kurama. No, we have to continue going underground. As that is when it hit him. Naruto, return back. What? But why? You have to make it look like. Block the path. And so Naruto did. Naruto continued digging, but all the mud that he got, he blocked out and covered the previous track. And that is how he continued until it was 2 days time later that he reached over a creek. And then he began to dig upwards until he finally saw the sunlight. For the first time in 12 years, he was outside and was now under the shade of sun. As Naruto's eyes hurt, his whole body was hurting because of the lack of sunlight. You need to get out of here. I can't. It hurts. Switch with me. Remember how I taught you? Yes. I'll take you somewhere safe. As suddenly Naruto's eyes closed and the innocence was gone, the next moment Naruto's posture completely changed. Well, it's time. As Kyubi got on all fours and dashed, tearing the earth itself off and disappearing in a blinding speed. As now we see, Minato that evening got home with his family. Well, I guess I'll go down and feed him. Yeah, do that, Minato. As Minato arrived downstairs and opened the door and placed the food down. Eat. Naruto? As no response came. Usually now, by now time, Naruto would come and take the food. Naruto, are you here? As Minato closed the door shut, knowing that Naruto couldn't escape, and maybe he was just being angry for him yelling and getting serious with him. And so, he went upstairs and slept the whole night. The next morning he came downstairs and he saw the foods being still there. And that is when alarm rang out in his mind. Kushina, come downstairs now! And so Kushina did, as both of them began to check out the whole room with the flashlights and couldn't find anything until a huge cracks on the wall were seen by them. He escaped. As Anbus were called, as they saw, Anbus beginning to dig only to find more rubble. How did this happen, Minato? I don't know. We need to find him. Find him before the time. And so Naruto by the time, thanks to the Kyuubi self, was gone so far away that he was almost at the corner of the elemental nation. This will buy us a few days at least. As now we see, Naruto wearing a black robe was walking. He had completely different clothes. Kurama has killed a few people, bad ones, to get their money, clothes, and Naruto has been, well, gotten a haircut and was now looking much more presentable as a part of society. He was not recognizable anymore. But now, all he had to do was survive Konoha because Kurama knew and told Naruto that they would not stop at anything just to find him, as the hunt had already begun. But they were not the only one hunting Naruto or were aware of his existence. Turns out there was an organization known as Akatsuki or Praise Outside. Said Zetsu in a meeting. I have been following him. He's at the Star Village, near the border of the elemental nations. It's a small village which goes by with fishing. Once we're able to track him, I already have. You don't need to, Kakazu. But it will require all of us to go there and hunt him. Turns out he is quite, well, special. Alright, we as the whole will depart then. And so, the whole Akatsuki were the first one to find him. And once they did, two of the Akatsuki members stood back, Tobi and Zetsu. What do you think, Obito? Well, we're gonna observe. As they all attacked, Naruto was being surrounded. He used every teaching, but he was still outnumbered by his strong shinobis, and was getting beaten, and somewhat bruised, until, while he was panting heavily and bleeding, something appeared in front of him. System activated. Do you wish to delete your enemies? Yes, Naruto. Say yes. Yes, said Naruto, vocalizing for the first time in a hoarse voice. His throat never been used before to speak anything physically, and now it was, as immediately something happened, as all of them disappeared, as their robes fell down to the ground. What happened? As that is when the system detected two more. Two more. Do you wish to delete? Yes, as those two were deleted as well. As after that Naruto was confused, as Kurama then asked him, ask the system what it is. What are you? Said Naruto. It's hard, Kurama. I've never spoken with my mouth. It'll be alright. I'm the delete system. My only purpose is to delete anything. I am not bound by any law. I can delete any existence in this reality or beyond it. As Naruto was taken aback by that. Ah, so that is the gift. Quite terrifying one at that. You idiots. If you hurt him, then I have no choice but to make Naruto your enemy. Besides, it's like karma getting back at you. Kid, what is it, Kurama? Said Naruto in his mind. This gift, you have to use it on those people that have kept you there. What? I'll tell you everything, but you need to listen. As Kurama revealed the whole truth to Naruto, as Naruto was shocked and terrified. So they're aiming to kill me. They're not gonna listen to anything you say. They're beyond reasoning. We already know their behavior towards you. It's not even my fault. I know. It's not even your fault. I know. And they blame me for this. Yes. As suddenly the system activated, detecting Naruto's rage. As suddenly the whole map began to appear. The whole map of elemental nations. As suddenly the map pointed where he was seated, and there were some red dots moving towards him. And Naruto pressed on them, trying to see what it was, and suddenly they became 3D, as it was Kakashi and his Anbu team that was rushing there. Enemies detected, moving in quite fast. Delete them, said Naruto, using his vocal cords, which was quite hard still for him. As they were erased, nothing more than their clothes and headband fell down to the ground. Enemies deleted. Congratulations, you have leveled up. Now you can delete a whole village if you wish to. A village? Yes. What are the dangerous villages? As the dangerous villages began to mark for the user. The dangerous village is as bit by bit the whole map turned red. What? As Naruto was mortified. Except for some given few lands, the rest of the whole elemental nation was dangerous for him. Do you wish to erase the villages? You can begin one by one, but as you level up to the level 3, which is the max level, you can erase the whole continent. And so, Naruto began. He was panicking, so he pressed Eva. Confirmation. Eva has been deleted. Naruto, what have you done? What did I do, Kurama? You deleted Eva Gakure. You're leveling up. Only one more village until the final level. As Naruto then placed a hand, and Amegakure was deleted. The whole village was gone. Kid, you're massacring people. They're my enemies, Kurama. They're out there to hunt me. As Kurama realized that Naruto was never told what was right or wrong. He has never told him. He has only told him to survive, and he would go to any lengths to survive. Oh no. Kid, wait! As Naruto began to press one by one each and every village. Village by village, Naruto's level and experience gained, and he became level 3 until he wiped out the whole lands. Land of Water was wiped out. Only the few minor villages that were out of his jurisdiction were able to saved. The villages that were common. And one by one the lands began to erase. Until Naruto hit it, today's limit. Only the land of sands and the land of fire and Konoha and Suna were safe. The 3 biggest nations alongside their villages have been wiped out. As Jiraiya then returned, alongside with other shinobis, Minato, something happened. What? Elemental nations, half of its continents are wiped out. What? They're gone, as if they never existed. Not a single soul, Minato. Not a single building, everything is gone. There's no sign of war, there's no sign of fight, no ruins, nothing. It's like it never existed. As Jiraiya was brought in and calmed down, they had a few hours, and Minato then realized something that he has forgotten. He had placed in the seal matrix that he has used on both of his children, the flying Raijin, kunai marker as well. He used it and brought back Naruto. As that is when we see Naruto, who was knocked out unconscious out of fear by Minato once of his arrival, then got woken up again. You're not Naruto. No, said Kyuubi. You're making a mistake, Minato. The kid, he has been given a terrifying gift. What gift? A system from Shinigami, Kami and Yami. Its only one purpose to exist is to delete every existence. Kid wiped out those who he thought were his enemies. I have taught him how to survive, but I never taught him how to be considerate, how to recognize a threat. And because of this mistake alone, I have lost some of my siblings, because they have now become those who also won't exist. How can you be so sure? Why should we trust you? We shouldn't. It's the Kyuubi's tricks. And Jiraiya silenced him. We're gonna execute him. He's not 13 yet. We are. As Naruto once woke up, found himself in the confinement, this time chained, as Minato and Kushina were standing in front of him. You made a lot of trouble, kid. Don't hurt me, said Naruto, as Minato and Kushina's eyes widened. I'm sorry, but this is for Kami, Yami, and Shinigami's sake. As the 3 left, Naruto's eyes were terrified. He was terrified. He needed to survive when system activated. Does the user wish to erase the enemy village? No, don't do it, kid. No! Yes, Naruto said, and Naruto fell down to the ground. Everyone was gone. There was silence. No voice. No clatter. Nothing. Just Naruto sitting on the ground now. Forested ground, and trees surrounded him. Konoha and the land of fire has been vanished. There was only one land that remained. And Naruto because of the system wiped it out as well. The few minor villagers that were able to survive was mortified of how this happened. But some who have been under the thumb of these considered that this was the judgment of shinigami, because these shinobis have never listened. The era of shinobis and konoichi was wiped out. But everyone was left confused. By who or why? And that became the biggest what if, because nobody knew who did it or why he did it. As Naruto continuously hid himself, because he knew he was a reject. The only person he had was Kurama, who, after realizing his mistake, was the only rational person who knew that he was the only one to blame, not Naruto. And he would continue to train and teach Naruto the basic things before he would be ready to live amongst the people. But until then, Naruto must continue to hide. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace